और इनके रिकॉर्ड में बैलेंस शीट ईयरली दिखानी पड़ेगी, क्योंकि अभी स्क्रैप के लिए रॉ मटेरियल स्क्रैप सेकेंडरी स्टील का है, उसके लिए इन्होंने अभी किया है कि जियो ओमेशन के लिए 30% प्राइमरी स्टील यूज करेगा, और इसी तरह हमारी ये डिमांड है कि 50% मटीरियल इनको सेकेंडरी से लेना पड़ेगा। जो अभी तक प्राइमरी ये कहते थे, आज से 15 साल पहले अगर आपने देखा होगा मोनिका टाटा ये एडवर्टाइजमेंट देता है क्या, ये कबाड़ से खरीदा हुआ लोहा लेंगे, आज वो लोग कबाड़ को यूज कर रहे हैं।
The fact is now when the primary sector, what so-called main producers, now they are starting the use of the scrap which was the raw material for the secondary steel, and it was always discarded, always. But now government and the various environmental has been made compulsion to them that 20 to 30% has to be used in their blast furnaces while they are producing from the iron ore integrated part. So that means now their quality also may be not good because they are using scrap. So whether we will discard that primary sector for the use of the infrastructure. So I just wanted to clarify that कि अभी if the molten, whatever molten is been created, let it be from the iron ore, let it be from the scrap or any other thing, but the molten content has the quality, has every chemical compositions as per the norms, as per the BIS standard, then it has to be allowed. So the voice of our secondary steel sector is on this pathway that yes, we should also be given a quota, say 20% for all the infrastructure companies said by government or maybe private or maybe semi-government, they should use 20% and their balance sheets and their record should show that yes, for the today is the day, 28th day, and we are celebrating Nature Conservation Day. So on this aspect, I would really suggest that it should be made compulsion for every infrastructure creating company in India to use some portion, maybe 10, 20, 30. Thank you.
Thank you, Yogesh ji. And हम लोग ये definitely जानते हैं कि scrap is the future and secondary steel is actually recycling it. So definitely secondary steel has a great future going ahead. But coming to the point, see मेरा काम है यहाँ पे थोड़ा buyer का problem सामने रखना है, आपको उसको solve करना है। बायर का सर देखिए एक प्रॉब्लम ये है जो मैं सामने रखना चाहती हूँ, थोड़ा सा एक जजमेंट है क्वालिटी को लेके, एंड व्हाट वी वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड फ्रॉम द बायर पर्सपेक्टिव विच आई वांट मिस्टर नितिन काबरा टू आंसर कि क्या क्वालिटी 500, 500D या जो भी लेवल के हम लोग हाई क्वालिटी स्टील बना रहे हैं, फ्रॉम द मैन्युफैक्चरिंग एंगल, do you think there is a variation of quality primary versus secondary? Because if we are talking about, critical infrastructure, seismic zones, you know it better. Yeah. So you please answer that, sir.
Thank you. थोड़ा सा इस टोन को है ना थोड़ा करेक्ट करते हैं। ये दिस इज नॉट अ फाइट अगेंस्ट प्राइमरी और सेकेंडरी। अगर हमको देश को उन्नत करना है, प्रोग्रेस करनी है, तो स्टील लगेगा। कोई भी एक सेक्टर 100% स्टील सप्लाई नहीं कर सकता। लेट्स एक्नॉलेज द रोल ऑफ प्राइमरी एज वेल, ठीक है। दिस इज द पॉइंट वन। व्हाट वी आर पुटिंग फॉरवर्ड इज एज अ बायर they have all legitimate right to ask for the quality, service, price. Absolutely right. उनके जो अभी तक के अनुभव है ना, वो पुराने जो भी पर्सपेक्टिव बिल्ड हुए हैं, why we are fighting कि हमको सेकेंडरी नाम नहीं चाहिए. It's not against the word secondary, it's against the feeling which gets created. क्योंकि ये जो एक इनिशिएशन हुआ हो, जो भी 30-40 साल पहले के टेक्नोलॉजी में एक डिफरेंशिएशन क्रिएट हुआ था, हम उस डिफरेंशिएशन को खत्म करना चाहते हैं. इट्स नॉट अगेंस्ट द वर्ड सेकेंडरी, इट्स अगेंस्ट द माइंडसेट विच अलाउज बायर टू लुक एट अस. सो कमिंग बैक टू द पॉइंट, अगर हम जो सेकेंडरी सेक्टर को रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं अगर हमने टेक्नोलॉजी का इम्प्लीमेंटेशन नहीं किया होता तो आज हम इतनी बड़ी संख्या में यहाँ पर अपने हक के लिए इतने जोर से बात नहीं कर सकते थे. लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड दिस. when we are saying that we are equally good, you have all the right to visit, inspect, and acknowledge also that yes, the so-called secondary route has come on an equal par with the primary producers. So for the quality concerns, the only way out, which I will request all my secondary peers to allow as many visitors from the buyer side to see their facility, to understand, to let them realize that we have traveled a long way, and that is the only way I think we can address this problem of perception.
So that is a very good idea. Yeah, Sachin. Yeah.
Monica, I would like to add to that. I think it's a great point. In fact, we can't just be sticking to one stronger point of ours, which they know. You know, I'll just give you an analogy. You have, how many follow tennis or like tennis? Okay, any sport for that matter. Like, you must have just watched Joko and Alcaraz play the finals, right? Now, treat Joko to be ISP. Okay, Alcaraz as the mini steel plant, right? Now, had Alcaraz gone with a single strategy of either saying, okay, I will play the baseline or I will play the drop shot, he would not have won the game, right? Joko, for his mental toughness, strategy to tire out the opponent is phenomenal. You can't just counter him on that one single aspect of the sport or his capabilities. So what Alcaraz did, he brought not just him, he brought Federer, he brought Murray, he brought Nadal, and he brought his own, innovation to the game, and then he beat him. Now, what it means for us as an, mini steel plants is that we can't just keep fighting with them on the certificates, quality, batch test, etc. Because they know they will tire you out on that while they progress, in a good way. So you will have to enhance your ammunition. Let's say simple, what Yogesh ji just mentioned. If I just have to draw it, let's say start documenting the quality testing parameters, batch after batch. It's a mundane, strenuous, non-profitable task in the beginning, but over a period of time, you would have accumulated so much of a data set, you could probably beat all the theories, all the queries that the inspectorate or the BIS standards, whoever comes in, counters you. You will have the data set speak rather than your passion and your drive talk about defending why your quality, steel quality is as good as the ISPs. Here, data sells. So focus on the documentation, focus on quality, focus on getting the regular audit, focus on getting your product certified batch after batch at the institutes that are available to you or the various forums that are available to you, possible through the state of, state or the central ministry. That is the one way to fight or counter this. You have come a long way, and I believe that is on the passion and the drive that you put in, but it would not be sustainable. You would probably run out of the gas. Now that will show the frustration. How Joko, again I go back, how we started throwing tantrums, started breaking rackets. That's the frustration that is bound to kick in when you put passion in the forefront. So you will have to back it up, probably with the right, set of data points and strategy to counter those.
Just one. Thank you for that point. Just to give you data, Industry 4.0 in steel industry has been implemented way back, at least 3-4 years back, by secondary steel. The primary sectors players are trying to catch up with that. So on the traceability, which he also mentioned, secondary steel is having a better record compared to the primary steel. Only point, yes, is when customer comes, the perception of customer towards us makes us in a very odd position to showcase ourselves and to get ourselves equated with the primary producers. That's the only point we want from the customers just to keep your perception aside and evaluate us. We have all those, whatever you need. Thank you.
Sir, I want the inputs of the buyers now. Yeah, on the quality.
Yeah, I think this is a very tricky topic, and yeah, I do understand with the fact that जब भी कोई secondary producers buyers के पास आते हैं, तो उनके जो है मतलब मन में एक चीज़ तो रहता ही है, भाई हम प्राइमरी जैसे नहीं है, और बायर भी जो है कुछ हद तक ऐसे ही सोचता है बिकॉज ऑफ द माइंड सेट कि भाई प्राइमरी तो प्राइमरी होते हैं, आप तो भाई सेकेंडरी हो, तो आप सेकेंडरी होने के नाते जो है हमें ये बेनिफिट दो, प्राइस कम करो, डिलीवरी में समथिंग वेरी अनयूजुअल डिमांड आ जाएगा डिलीवरी की. तो बात वो नहीं है. देखिए, आई थिंक दैट टुडे दैट कॉन्सेप्ट हैज गॉन, इफ नॉट फुल but to large extent that concept has gone. It is only one thing I would say from both techno-commercial perspective. ये क्या है कि प्राइमरी की जो स्टील मेकिंग प्रोसेस है, वो प्रोसेस में जो प्रोसेस बेनिफिकेशन है ना, वो जो है मतलब दैट इज ऑटोमेटेड बेनिफिकेशन. दैट मीन्स वो प्रोसेस ही कुछ ऐसा है तो उसमें से जो क्वालिटी ऑफ स्टील निकलेगी वो अच्छा निकलेगा. तो ये जो है this process benefication has only created a huge confidence for ages to the buyer's mind. Secondary steel making is a process जहां पे process को अगर कोई benefit करे तो I believe secondary is at par or sometimes even better choice for the buyers. Why? Because see, secondary में आप quality में जाएंगे तो आप देखेंगे quality varies between multiple companies. तो वो क्वालिटी क्यों वैरी होता है? दैट मीन्स इफ द प्रोसेस इटसेल्फ टेक्स केयर ऑफ द क्वालिटी, देन क्वालिटी शुड नॉट वैरी. सो आई एम इन फुल सपोर्ट टू द सेकेंडरी प्रोड्यूसर्स दैट दे शुड मेंटेन टेक द प्रोसेस टू सच एक्सटेंट दैट मतलब दे शुड मेंटेन द प्रोसेस पैरामीटर्स, दे शुड मेक श्योर दैट व्हाट द प्रोसेस फॉर सेकेंडरी स्टील मेकिंग कॉल्स फॉर इट इज प्रॉपरली मेंटेन्ड. देन आपके लिए कोई चिंता वाली बात है ही नहीं. इफ somebody is producing from the secondary route a steel which has got 60%, 80% phosphorus, and somebody is making exactly within 35, तो क्या है, दोनों मिला के जो है सल्फर फॉस्फोरस मिला के हमारी जो 75 की गाइडलाइन दी हुई है, the same producer sometimes makes within 75, and if I see the same producer sometimes make 90, 100, तो क्या होता है? that means process के अंदर जो है वो automated parameter of controlling the quality is driven manually. If that is being dealt properly, I believe sky is the limit for secondary productions.
Again, the quality, in fact, to be verifying, NHAI is directly not procuring any material. Our contracts are such that we are giving full freedom to our contractor who are procuring. But the issue which is being raised time and again is differentiation between primary and secondary. As I told you, the ministry has already notified that there is no difference between secondary and primary. Whatever quality you have specified, check it. If it is meeting the requirement, go ahead. There is nothing like primary or secondary. We have given instruction and this is now part of our contract. There is nothing like primary or secondary. You meet the requirement, whatever I have specified, no issue on that.